Hello and welcome to another video where I take you through my 1970s stuff. Now this is Action Comics number 432, February 1974, and this was given to me by a friend of mine probably in about 1978. He said he got it from America. And I kind of believed him at the time because when we bought these comics they always had the price in pence, so it may have been 12 pence or however much it cost in the late 70s. But when my friend showed me this, it had 20 cents at the top, and he said he got it from America because he had cousins or family that were living there and they used to send him stuff from time to time. And I was fascinated by this because this was a genuine comic that was actually from the US, and I asked him if I could have it and he said yes, and he gave it to me. So I suppose that's one of the reasons that I kept it, because when we used to buy these comics, once we'd read them, I used to take them into school and then sell them to my friends in the playground, probably for about 5 pence or something. But this one I kept, probably because reportedly it had come from the USA, but also I liked it. I quite liked the artwork. I quite liked the color palettes here. So this story is Superman and the Toymen. So I think this was the first first edition to have the new Toyman in. I think the old Toyman had appeared a few times, but I don't remember seeing him. This was the first time that I kind of saw them. But the other thing that was fascinating with these comics is that the adverts, I mean, that was all part of it as well, not just the stories but the adverts. And here we've got an advert for an air rifle, you know, it's a BB gun, and that was just, to us at 8 years old, I mean, that was fantastic. You know, wow, you know, you can get these BB guns in America, or I mean you probably get them over here at the time, but you know, we didn't see them in UK comics. There wouldn't be adverts for air guns and that kind of stuff. So that was all part of it as well. It was looking at the adverts. You were immersing yourself in sort of the US culture, and it wasn't just, you know, things like guns, but it was also, you know, the exotic things like Twinkie chocolates or Clark chocolate bars. And we thought, wow, Hershey. We thought, what's that? Reese, you know, peanut butter cupcakes. You get all that now over here. You know, go down to Morrison's and they've got the US aisle, and you can buy all those things. But back in the late 70s, you know, we didn't see these things at all, and that was just something exotic and fantastic. So half the fun of these comics was really not just reading the stories, but it was also looking at all of the adverts as well. But this one with the Toyman, I haven't read it in a while. I had a quick glance through, but as I sort of remember, I think the new Toyman comes along and he starts to steal all these vehicles, whether it's a new jet plane or a rocket or a new train or the world's fastest car, and he zaps them down with his super shrinking gun, and to the size of toys, and then he's ransoming them off for so many $1 million. So he decides to make a play for the aircraft while Superman or Clark Kent is there doing some report on it. But yeah, as I say, I quite liked the stories. The story on this one, actually, the Toyman story, it's by Kerry Bates, and the artwork is by Kurt Swan and Murphy Anderson. So I used to like the way they were drawn, but also I used to like the colours, the colour palette that they used on these. I just thought was nice. So here we've got an advert for Daredevil stunts, some action bike, a bit like the Evel Knievel stunt cycle, which there's an advert for at the back, so we'll have a little look at that. But in this comic there's two stories. There's the Toyman story, and also there's a Human Target story, Christopher Chance. I do remember seeing a few of those. I was never really interested in those ones. I was only really interested in the superheroes, you know, Superman and stuff. But I do remember seeing him a few times in some comics. I think they wrote it as a backup story, and as I believe they were going to include it in one of the other comics, and they decided to then put it into Superman. So some of the pages are quite loose. They've come out. So that's the Human Target one. More adverts for soft vinyl zoo toys. And some more comics, Detective Comics from Batman. But there we are. This is the adverts at the back that we used to find fascinating as well. Because when we looked at these adverts, you know, we never ever sent off for them. But when you looked at them, you know, it was a spy pen, it was X-ray specs, sea monkeys. That always fascinated me when I was younger. I wondered what these sea monkeys were. You know, these creatures that you could hatch and grow and apparently teach them to dance and swim around and do different tricks. Yeah. It was only years later that I found out that they were just shrimp, really. But at the time, they just seemed fascinating and exotic, and you know, something really strange. But there we are, advert for Evel Knievel stunt cycle, and I do actually have one of these, so I will be doing a video on it in the future. But yeah, it's one of those magazines or one of those comics that for some reason I just kind of hung on to, and I just sort of liked it. As I say, I like the colours, I like the colour palette, I like the way that it was drawn and the stories. So thanks very much for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe and I'll take you through some more of my 1970s stuff.